As we saw yesterday, a lot of the knitted jumpers out in the field as well, as Overton is in, and Walter gets that one away. It looked like it was in the air for a moment. It's running along the ground though, out towards the boundary and the leg side. It will be picked up just inside the rope, so they'll come back for two, but those are the first runs on the board for Essex of the morning. And it's to Paul Walter, who has two.
Yeah, not completely convincing that from Paul Walter, just chipping it over the onside field. Suggestion from the way he was prodding at the pitch that one may have stopped on him a little bit.
And comes Overton to Walter, who was having a swing at that one. It's through to Rue. And he wanted to get that one away, did Paul Walter. Almost gave his wicket away in doing so. So end of the over. Essex 2 without loss, and it's 93 to win.
Yeah, a little bit of seam movement there for Craig Overton. Maybe one stopped as well. So some encouragement for Somerset. But they're going to need to take every opportunity, every chance that comes their way is going to have to be snaffled. Can't afford to drop catches as they did in the Essex first innings. 3 slip catches going down.
Spoke to Charlie Bennett at the close of play yesterday, the Essex teenager who was amongst the wickets, also had a cameo with the bat, making 22 yesterday. And he said, I asked about whether it was the bowling, what the pitch was doing. He did say that it felt like the conditions and the pitch were doing a bit more yesterday.
Yeah. Craig Overton, when I spoke to him, said that particularly under the lights, the ball was doing more. But that said, Somerset really didn't bat very well. There were some poor shots played. Lewis Gregory is going to bowl from the Graham Gooch end. He's in to bowl to Elgar, takes him on the pad and gone! Wicket! First up for Lewis Gregory. And, well, 2 for 1. And Somerset hopes very much alive as Dean Elgar is pinned LBW by Lewis Gregory. And, yeah, looked a pretty good shout as well. Probably clipped the top of middle and leg stumps.
Dean Elgar trudging off. That's exactly what Essex didn't want to happen, and I said it'd be one of two ways. It'll either be straightforward, or we will see more of what we saw yesterday with the ball and those conditions and the pitch and the bowling, just making this a difficult target to chase for Essex, and they'll have to do so without Dean Elgar being involved. That partnership we saw in the first innings.
That's cricket for you, isn't it?
Yeah.
118 in the first innings in an opening partnership of 277, and gets a first baller in the second. Well, certainly there was signs of hope in the Craig Overton opening over, and that hope very much coming to fruition with the first ball of Lewis Gregory's over. Tom Wesley has a job on his hands.
Interesting here, interesting as well at the Tilliter Bowl, with Hampshire needing 33 runs but having just that 1 wicket in hand. They had to come off a bad light there last night as well, and so they've had to be sitting on that chase overnight.
Prolonging the agony, I think that's called.
Yeah.
You've got to feel for everybody down at Hampshire. Here comes Gregory then to bowl to Wesley. He's in and bowls, and Wesley gets on top of the bounce and plays it up to mid-on. And there's no run. 3 slips. Tom Kohler-Cadmore at first. Craig Overton at second. And Casey Aldridge at third slip. Got a backward point. Mid-off. Shortish mid-wicket. Forward square leg. Mid-on. And long leg. It's the field as Gregory's in and bowls, takes on the pad. Wesley padding up to Gregory, huge appeal. Hard for the umpire to be able to judge whether that would have gone on to. I think it was a bit high actually.
He did come forward to it as well.
I think it was a bit high. there would have been a fair amount of guesswork involved on the part of the umpire in giving that decision. But anxious moments for Essex, encouraging ones for Somerset as Wesley is... Oh! I thought he was going to be caught at forward at that short mid-wicket position. Did that carry to Archie Vaughan? Tried to get his hands underneath it. Very hard to say. I fancy he probably did just get his hands underneath it. I think that is a catch that's gone down. He's looking a little bit forlorn, is Archie Vaughan. It was a very difficult catch. It was turned low to him as Gregory is in and bowls outside the off stump. No shot from Wesley. And significant seam movement again. It was too wide from Gregory, but going away sharply off the seam. This may not be quite so straightforward as it might have appeared at first glance. Chasing down 95. Gregory is in and bowls to Wesley, takes him on the pad. That I'm sure is a bit too high. Big appeal again, so very good over from Lewis Gregory. A wicket maiden to start with, and Essex needing 95, 2 for 1.
I think what we've seen from those first 2 overs of the morning just shows it's not going to be straightforward. The wicket of Dean Elgar, but also then whether that or not was a chance, whether that catch had carried to Archie Vaughan. A couple of strikes on the pad. I think bowlers will be encouraged by what they've seen so far. Craig Overton's about to begin the 3rd over of the morning. Paul Walter's coming down the pitch. He's not going to waste any time. That comes off the bottom edge of the bat. Not the most aesthetically pleasing shot from Paul Walter, but he just wants to get up the other end. Takes a single, and he doesn't look too comfortable there.
He's hit it onto his boot, I think. Yes, that was out. That's what I've been expecting from Paul Walter, that he would go hard right from the start.
I do wonder whether the early wicket of Dean Elgar will change that, though, whether that will either change their mindset or they will think, actually, OK, we just need to get this done. So 3 for 1, Paul Walter with those runs as Overton is in. Sunshine coming out, and that's driven through mid-wicket by Tom Wesley for the first boundary of the morning. That was what he was looking to do in the previous over. He gets it along the ground this time. There's 4 runs to the Essex captain, 7 for 1 on the board for Essex.
Yeah, just over pitched from Overton. As the sun comes out.
Sunglasses on.
Which will please the Essex batsmen more than the Somerset bowlers, I fancy.
It was like this morning, the sun out. It just felt like it clouded over before we got to the start of play. As Overton is in, shorter delivery, which is how he dismissed Wesley yesterday. This time the Essex captain leaves it through to Rue for no run.
Lots of prodding going on at the pitch. Both batsmen doing a bit of gardening, which again suggests that it's not a completely flat surface, this, by any means. It's surprising. It's amazing how the nature of the surface has changed.
In comes Overton, and that one is again through to the keeper. And once more, Wesley will come and do a little bit of gardening.
It did look completely flat on the second afternoon when Walter and Elgar were putting together that huge partnership. But really from yesterday morning, it's changed.
Over the wicket, shorter delivery, just turned off the hip by Wesley into the leg side for no run. I must apologise to Andrew, Richard and David, who got in touch on the email yesterday, and I was so busy trying to do the maths and make sure we knew what was happening with Essex being safe. I didn't actually get to the emails, but thank you all for getting in touch, all on the subject of the various scenarios of Division 1 safety. If you want to get in touch, essex.cricket@bbc.co.uk, as the shorter delivery from Overton is past the outside edge. And again, he's finding his line and length and testing the skills of Tom Wesley. End of the over, Essex a 7 for 1. And Walter has 3, Wesley has 4.
Another good over from Craig Overton. Hampshire still going. 156 for 9. They need 25 more runs to avoid being relegated. With James Fuller and Brad Wheel at the crease. That must be tense down there. It's not that tense here yet, but it could get tense. Another couple of wickets. Paul Walter then, big left-hander. Gregory coming around the wicket to him. He's in and bowls, and this skews off the outside edge.
When are we going to see him?
Being chased out to the cover boundary, and they'll come back for 2 runs as Lewis Goldsworthy fields. That takes the score on to 9 for 1. Paul Walter showing every sign that he's going to play his shots.
We've got the cathedral bells in the background.
Ah. Talking of bells, it was a very nice touch that Nick Yeo, the Somerset bus driver, was asked to ring the 5-minute bell this morning. This is driven nicely down the ground and is going to be cut off very well by Tom Lammonby. And it's just a single. Nick Yeo, who's been driving the Somerset players up and down the country for 11 seasons. And made a very nice speech after the victorious Vitality Blast final at Edgbaston, saying how much he'd enjoyed working for a fine bunch of lads as they are. Gregory in and bowls and goes past Wesley's outside edge. Well, Somerset are certainly not going to go quietly. They're going to give this everything they've got, try and finish the season on a high note, which is something that they haven't really done in recent years. Last year they lost their final game against Hampshire down at Taunton. Previous year it was a rain-affected draw at Edgbaston. The year before that they lost down at Canterbury. As Overton, Gregory rather, is in and bowls, and Jack Leach coming back for a second run, and will go. If that had hit from Leach, then Paul Walter would have been struggling, and it didn't miss by very much. Good piece of fielding by Jack Leach, who's not the most naturally athletic of the Somerset fielders, but that was a good piece of work. He was onto it really quickly, and there's a great big grin on Lewis Gregory's face, which just, I think, shows how close that must have been to hitting the stumps.
Yeah, I'm surprised they went for it, but Tom Wesley was determined that he was coming back for that second run, and Paul Walter was left with a bit of ground to make up at the end. He would have been short had that hit.
12 for 1 after that excitement. Gregory into Wesley, who punches this into the offside. There'll be runs here as well as Lammonby goes off in pursuit. Will they come back for a third? They will indeed, as the throw comes in, and this time home slightly more comfortably, but a good aggressive running by these two Essex batsmen. You can sense the urgency. They want to get on with it. They're not going to hang around and play the role of sitting ducks and just allow Somerset to bowl at them. They're going to fight fire with fire. 15 for 1 in the 4th over of the morning. Another 80. Essex need. Somerset need a wicket. They need to break this partnership. Gregory around the wicket to the left-hander. In and bowls, and Walter is down the pitch driving this into the offside. It'll just be a single. Every run being applauded by it's not a bad crowd actually.
No ball, was that? I thought the umpire signalled.
It might very well have been. Yes, it was. You're quite right. He is prone to bowling no balls, Lewis Gregory. He's the most regular no baller in county cricket at the moment.
And obviously we didn't see him complete an over yesterday, did we, with the injury?
He's in and bowls to West. He's down the pitch, pulling this into the onside, and that's 4 runs as Lewis Goldsworthy tries to make the stop at mid-wicket, can't get a hand on it. And that was an expensive over. 3, 5, 8, 11, 15 runs from it. And at the end of that over, Essex have made significant inroads into their target of 95. They're 22 for 1.
So Essex needs 73 to win. And Tom Wesley finding the boundary with that last ball, but on the occasions where it slowed up or they picked out a fielder, we've seen the intent of the Essex batters with their running between the wickets as well.
They look as if both of them are going to go hard. I'm sure it's the right tactic as well.
As Overton from the Sir Alistair Cook end is into Walter, who's played that through the offside. There is a chase onto the boundary. I think the fielder is going to get there as they come back for 3. Again, good running by Essex as the ball is picked up in the field. But yeah, we're certainly seeing the intent from Essex when they can get these deliveries away. So 25 for 1.
Again, not entirely convincing from Paul Walter. It was in the air for some time, but the intent is very definitely there.
In comes Overton as a waft from Tom Wesley. It's through to Rue.
Another big shot being played. Well, if you're going to go hard at the ball, go hard at it. I think if he got an edge to that, it would have flown over the top of slips.
In comes Overton to Wesley. He was coming forward to that one again. It's through to the wicket keeper, James Rue.
Just had a little prod at that again, did Tom Wesley. He's played and missed 3 or 4 times at Craig Overton. Somerset need to find the edge.
Wesley is on 13, Paul Walter at the other end on 10, as Overton is in. Fuller delivery, which is turned into the leg side and fielded. No run. Lots of encouragement and noise from around the Somerset field. Trying to keep the energy up, keep alert. Sun's just disappeared behind the clouds again as Overton is in, and that's a drive from Wesley. Straight to mid-off though. Good shot for nothing from the Essex captain.
Good stop from Lewis Gregory as well with that damaged right hand.
Was that what was causing him the discomfort yesterday? Do we know?
I
when
honestly don't know.
He had to go off the pitch?
I don't know.
No. He's obviously felt he can continue to bowl for however long he needs to today. Overton is running in from the end we are at, and that one's just turned up to mid-on by Wesley. It's the end of the over, and Essex are 25 for 1, so 70 needed to win as a few more spectators make their way into the ground in front of us.
1 or 2 very junior spectators this morning.
Yes.
There's a little lad, couldn't have been more than about 2.5, I think.
Start them early.
Yeah. Oh, good to see it county championship cricket as well, rather than just the white ball stuff. So Gregory's going to bowl another over, and he'll be hoping it's not quite as expensive as the last one. Slip cordon being weakened, with Casey Aldridge being taken out and put to extra cover. Here comes Gregory to Walter, and Walter plays a rather crooked looking push drive, which goes to Goldsworthy at backward point. Walter again advancing on the bowler, full of aggressive intent as the sun comes out again. Gregory in bowls. This is turned firmly through the onside for 4 runs. Fine shot from Paul Walter. Middled that, timed it beautifully, giving Lammonby no chance at all at mid-wicket. 29 for 1. Walter on to 14.
Yorkshire are all out at Headingley, 475 is the total. That was a frustrating afternoon for them with the bad light which stopped play, and Durham will be watching that Hampshire-Surrey score with interest. Hampshire need 21 runs to win now.
Here's Gregory to Walter, and has run here as well as it goes to Goldsworthy's left at cover point. 30 for 1. So Essex nearly a third of the way to their target. Somerset desperately need, well, not just 1 wicket, but 2 or 3 would be I think what they'd be hoping for. Just the 2 slips. Mid-wicket has retreated. Oh, Casey Aldridge in fact coming back in, so he's a shortish mid-wicket. Gregory to Wesley. This time doesn't play an aggressive shot, is content to play that defensively. Back up the pitch. It's picked up by Archie Vaughan. It's cool and cloudy here this morning. It's a pleasant morning, but distinctly autumnal. Good contingent of Somerset supporters up at the far end of the ground. Gregory in and bowls, and he's gone. That's the end of Wesley. A good catch by James Rue. Gregory taking the outside edge. Wesley pushing outside the off stump once too often. He didn't really need to play at that, to be quite honest, but a good thickish outside edge and a good catch low to his right from James Rue. And that is the second Essex wicket to go down. Just when these two look to be going along fairly comfortably, Tom Wesley has gone. Caught Rue, bowled Gregory for 13. It's 30 for 2.
Yeah, we've seen a few of those deliveries where they've gone past the outside edge, and that one just felt outside the line. He didn't really need to go for it, but Tom Wesley knew as soon as he had, he looked behind him. And that's frustrating because, again, Essex were just starting to rebuild. Walter and Wesley had looked comfortable. They'd got the good running going between the wickets. They were getting a few of the shots away as well. And you just don't want to lose a clatter of wickets and feel the pressure with 65 runs needed.
Charlie Allison is the new batsman. Marching out as if he means business as well. Can't help feeling that Paul Walters is the crucial wicket.
Trevor's been in touch and says, as I understand the point system, the best Essex can do is to come 6th. So there's the irony that Porter, who had contributed so much to the superior position, kept a cool head with 27 balls to get 12 runs and therefore little scoreboard pressure. And with Thane getting as much of the strike as possible, the extra point would have given Essex 4th place. Best wishes and see you next summer, says Trevor. Yeah, that was when Essex were batting and we wondered about them getting to the 450 mark.
1 ball remaining in this Gregory over. Slip cordon is reinforced, 3 of them now. Gregory bowling to Allison. He's in and bowls outside the off stump, and Charlie Allison has nothing to do with it. End of that over. Gregory has 2 for 20 in 3 overs. Paul Walter on 15 and Charlie Allison yet to score. And I've had a stat from Steve Pittard, retired joint landlord of the Rose and Crown at Hewish Episcopi in Somerset. better known as Eli's, he said, "Today could witness Somerset's worst capitulation from an impregnable position in the county's history. Should Somerset lose, this will be their highest first match innings score, 433, to end in defeat in the past 65 years. Previously, the highest score was 408, but they haven't capitulated just yet."
Craig Overton from the Sir Alistair Cook end is into Paul Walter, who defends that one back to the bowler, who has watched Lewis Gregory take a couple of wickets from the other end. We're looking to get in on the act for Somerset, put some more pressure on this Essex chase. Essex will be looking at that target 65 to get, and will be wanting to get there as quickly as they possibly can, as Overton is in, and that one is whipped through the offside by Paul Walter. He wants to get them there. He finds 4 runs, 34 for 2.
Driven on the up. Yes, I'm sure this is the right approach by Paul Walter. Somerset have got to get him out. It's as straightforward as that. If they don't get him out, Essex are going to win, and they'll win pretty quickly. Yeah, and similar lines to that Steve Pittard stat. Cy White says, stat for you, Somerset made their highest score of the county championship season in their very first innings of the campaign, and sadly they made their lowest in the final innings.
Overton is in, and Walter is struck on the pads quite high up on the tall Essex batter. They'll come through for a leg by. It wasn't the biggest appeal we've seen from the Somerset field, as Hampshire have lost that final wicket. Surrey win by 20 runs.
What a shame. What a shame. I do feel sorry for Hampshire. I feel sorry for myself as well, because looks like another trip to Chester Street coming up next season. Not that I've got anything against Chester Street, it's just rather a long way.
We'll look at those in a minute, those scenarios, as Overton is in, sunshine out again. That one's driven, and it just comes off the boot of Overton as Allison was looking to play it back down the pitch. So Yorkshire are all out, which gives them a lead of 129 runs over Durham. So if Yorkshire start well with the ball, does that still give Hampshire some hope?
Yeah, it's going to be a draw, isn't it? Both sides will be happy with a draw.
Yeah. Overton into Allison, who plays that one through mid-wicket. That's going to race away to the boundary. There's 2 fielders in pursuit, but I think that's going to get there for 4 runs. Another boundary to help Essex on their way. The target to get to their total is now 56, Essex 39 for 2.
Yeah, over-pitched again from Craig Overton. Can't afford to bowl leg stump half volleys when you've got so few runs to play with.
Allison's first runs as in comes Overton, and that one is played back down the pitch, and then Overton tries to turn it onto the stumps, but Allison was back in his crease. That's the final ball of the over. It's 39 for 2.
Yeah, worth a try, and fair enough, because Allison was momentarily at least out of his crease. Gracious me.
It's an unusual siren.
It is. Victoria will be providing an update to listeners to BBC Radio Essex FM and AM channels. Here we got Lewis Gregory to bowl to Paul Walter.
Despite being let down by detractors, ultimate responsibility they said for managing these events did lie.
Walter on 19, mid-off and mid-on, quite deep. He's just hedging his bets at the moment, Lewis Gregory. 2 slips, but it's fundamentally a fairly defensive field, as Gregory is in and bowls to Walter, who's content just to play this quietly up the onside of the pitch, and there'll be no run. 39 for 2, so another 56. Essex need with 8 wickets in hand. Sounds straightforward, but another wicket now, and you never know. Gregory in and bowls, and Walters down the pitch, driving on the bounce back to Gregory, who doesn't field it cleanly. But again, signs of aggression from tall Paul. Ideal batsman for this scenario, isn't he? Good contingent of Somerset supporters up the far end. See a tractor driver there in his white sun hat. Gregory in and bowls and goes past the outside edge. He's got ooh, over to Victoria.
I'll just update the BBC Essex listeners. Well, they need a further 56 runs to do so in beautiful sunshine here at Chelmsford. It hasn't been a straightforward chase so far, though, with Essex requiring 95 runs at the start of the day to get the third win of the county championship season. They've lost Dean Elgar. He went LBW first ball, and the captain Tom Wesley was caught behind for 13 as Paul Walter has hit one in the air, and it's going to run away to the boundary. It won't quite get there, though. They'll come back for a couple of runs to make a dent in this total. So Essex will be looking to get these runs as quickly as possible and not have any more wickets for Essex. Are 41 for 2 in their chase. They need 54 runs to win this final county championship match of the season.
That was a top edge. Could easily have gone to hand, but fortunately for Paul Walter, it cleared Tom Lammonby at extra cover by some margin. Here comes Gregory again. Peel for LBW, that must be close. Must be close. Maybe just going down. Umpire's call, maybe just clipping or just missing the top of leg stump. It's just caught Paul Walter between the top of his pad and the bottom of his thigh pad, I think. Painful, he's just giving it a bit of a massage. But false shot. Here comes Gregory, last ball of this over. He's in and bowls to Walter, who drives this, and it's misfielded by Archie Vaughan, and it's going to be pulled in by Casey Aldridge, who has crashed into the advertising boards, but he managed to make the stop and saved his side a run, but they've taken 3, so the score moves on to 44 for 2 and just another 51 Essex need. Shall I make way for Beth Harvey? Victoria?
Yes, I will make... Oh, are you... Yes? Who's going? Sorry.
Oh.
OK, Anthony's going to leave us for a while. We'll bring Beth in, and then we'll see how this one pans out, and Anthony can rejoin us as we get to the end of however this one pans out. Just wait to get rid of the BBC Essex output in our ears. Hopefully that's not interfering with what you can hear here on BBC Essex and on the live stream, as that one's just turned into the leg side by Paul Walters. Beth Harvey joins us for the first time this morning, and what a day you've picked to come and join us on commentary, Beth.
Good morning, yeah, a bit of excitement. What a treat.
Well, get your thoughts on what's been going on elsewhere as well, because I know you've had the pleasure of being around the county circuit at various matches this season, as Overton is in, and that's up on the toes. Paul Walter plays that one out into the leg side for a single. 45 for 2. And it's now 50 to win for Essex. You have been with us before, Beth, but remind everyone what you do, your cricket involvement.
Yes, I've been at Sussex since I was a little whippersnapper. And yeah, I've been doing some third voice stuff for the BBC, mostly at the Oval this year.
As Overton is in, and that one is played into the leg side by Charlie Allison. They should come back for at least 2 as it just bobbles in the outfield, and there's a sliding stop. You play club cricket in Essex as well?
Yeah, so I'm a Londoner these days and play out at Great Totham. Fantastic club.
Lovely ground as well.
It's very not lovely to bowl off spin on at times. Bit of a postage stamp. But yeah, beautiful ground and right next to a pub, which is an ideal combo.
Always. Craig Overton on his way in with Essex 47 for 2, and that one is played out into the offside by Charlie Allison. There's no run. What have you made of the start to this Essex chase then? I always feel a bit nervous when a couple of wickets go down.
Well, yeah, I think Paul Walters got in with the right mentality of trying to get it done quickly. He's swing hard, edge hard, a little bit of that, but he's getting away with it so far. So, yeah, I think that's the right tempo.
Allison is on 6 as Overton is in, and he's driving that one through the covers for 4 runs. There was no stopping that one in the field, and he's joining Paul Walter in that mentality as he moves into double figures. He's on 10. That's the Essex 50 runs up.
Yeah, just took a couple of steps down, didn't he, and put his hands through it. They've got 2 slips in, so they started the morning with 3. A little bit more of a defensive field now that their required runs are dropping a little bit.
Craig Overton's on his way in from the Sir Alistair Cook end, and that one's played back to him by Charlie Allison, who certainly, I think, in a season where Essex will be disappointed with how things have panned out and the confirming of the Division 1 status yesterday, you know, it's good they've done it, but they would have wanted much more from the season. But I think Charlie Allison will certainly be a highlight, the development of him this season, being a regular in first-class cricket. Yeah,
he's looked really good, and I think a lot of confidence for a young player, which is really crucial.
Would you have been at the Oval when he got his century for Essex?
Yes, it wasn't the day I was there, but I was keeping an eye on it because I did the day of that match. So, yeah, he's been really impressive. It's going to be Lewis Gregory to continue from the Graham Gooch end, and Paul Walters struck on the thigh pad. Slightly strangled appeal for LBW, but much too high to be troubling anyone. And just coming down to have a little word with Allison at the other end. Something about the bounce, maybe. We've seen a few LBW shouts that have looked just like they were going over, so there's a lot of life in this pitch still. Is Gregory's in again to Walter, and Walter stepping outside the off stump and shoveling it over mid-off. Runs away for 4, a couple of bounces. Some serious intent there from Paul Walter.
I've been reprimanded on the emails because I just assumed when I heard the bells at 11:15, I thought it was the cathedral. We're not far away from the cathedral, but thank you to Terry on the emails who's corrected me and said it's the bells of Our Lady Immaculate Church during Mass, which is actually only just on New London Road, so not far away at all. He said you hear them most mornings. I haven't heard them from the BBC Essex office actually before.
Gregory in, and Walter tries to do the same to that one. Massive swing, beats the outside edge.
And Terry adds, "Come on, Essex," to the end, but thank you very much for the correction. It was lovely to hear the bells. I didn't hear them yesterday, actually, or at least I didn't notice.
No, he's staying in.
Has anyone written in to tell us what that siren was?
No, yeah. If anyone knows what the siren was, that was very loud and different.
Gregory in again to the left-handed Walter and beats the outside edge again. Slightly more measured shot this time from Paul Walter as he was just trying to fend that back down the pitch. And they have a little smile at each other and a little giggle. I think Gregory knows he's got the better of Paul Walter for those couple of deliveries. Just letting him know.
Yeah, 40 now to win for Essex. Again, the sun just disappearing behind the clouds. We haven't had prolonged sunshine yet this morning, but the blue sky there is giving us some hope.
Gregory in, and that's worked off the legs of Paul Walter and fielded very well in mid-wicket, so they'll come through for just a single, but saved a definite couple of runs there. And the fielder looks very chilly, actually. He's kind of rubbing his arms. It's not too warm out there, actually, and when the sun goes in, it's got a chill in the air. It's not nice to field when it's that cold, is it?
No.
Especially when the batters are hitting it as hard as Paul Walter hits it. That's no fun. Gregory now over the wicket to the right-handed Allison. Allison takes a couple of steps and tries to smash it through the offside, but doesn't get all of it. Finds the fielder, so there's no run to end the over. Essex 56 for 2 from their 10.
Yeah, just a wider delivery to finish things for Lewis Gregory. He's got the 2 wickets this morning, and just feel from what we've seen, he's the most likely to take the wickets. I know Craig Overton's taken the 6 in the first innings, but bar a couple of short deliveries and making the batters play, it has been Lewis Gregory the success. And as I say that, we will see Jake Ball as the change of bowling, the first change we've seen this morning. He'll bowl from the Sir Alistair Cook end, so he'll be running away from us, as again that chill just feel it around the ground. You've come prepared, you've got the scarf on.
I know, I'm a bit of a baby when it comes to the cold, and I know that you're exposed to the elements here, so I thought the scarf wasn't...
Well, Simon Harmer had his snood onto fielding yesterday, so you probably got the right idea as Ball is on his way in and Walter comes down the pitch. That is high in the air. There's a fielder running underneath it. Will he get there? He will. Catch is taken. Lewis Gregory takes the catch. Walter looking to try and get Jake Ball away first ball. He doesn't get enough on it to get it over the field, and on the run. Difficult catch to take when you're running and trying to work out where that ball is going to fall. But Lewis Gregory, the Somerset captain, takes it. Essex lose a 3rd wicket in their chase. They are 56 for 3. They need 39 to win.
Yeah, that was a great catch. He had to watch it all the way, and he made a lot of ground running away from the ball, looking back over his shoulder. Fantastic take in the end. He's such a good fielder, isn't he, Lewis Gregory? He's the person you'd want under it. Interestingly, yesterday Somerset were 59 for 3, so actually in a very similar position, Essex. We could have a bit of more excitement here.
Yeah, that is interesting, because you just feel that Essex were maybe, again with Allison and Walter there, we thought that yesterday with who was there, Josh Thomas and Lewis Goldsworthy for a little while, and you thought if those two stay together, Somerset could get that partnership going, get the runs on the board, and we would have been in an interesting position come close of play. But then when that wicket went, Jamie Porter, well, double wicket maiden we saw from him, really turned the tables for Essex. So I think Somerset will still have hope, knowing that those wickets can fall, and that mentality of Paul Walter. He wanted to be aggressive, he wanted to try and get the job done. Matt Critchley is certainly capable of similar, but he may well also just want to stay there with Charlie Allison and see it out. But You don't really want to be hanging around too long, do you? 39 to win. Critchley is set. Ball comes in around the wicket, and that one is pushed up towards mid-off, just a slight misfield, and Essex come through for the single. Wesley and Critchley even off the mark immediately. 57 for 3, 38 now to win. And remember, Michael Pepper didn't keep wicket for Essex due to a hand injury. He did bat yesterday though. As ball is in, and that one is a swing and a miss from Allison. It's through to Rue behind the stumps for no run. And I can actually see him on the balcony doing a bit of a warm-up. So we'll see similar from him if he is required in this Essex chase.
Yeah, he's someone who strikes a very clean ball. But Essex will be hoping he's not required today.
In comes ball, and that one is outside the edge of Charlie Allison's bat. He just tips his head back and walks away from the crease to reset himself. A couple of words exchanged between Critchley and Ball. Maybe Critchley commenting or complimenting him on the delivery.
Yeah, really nipped off the pitch, that one, and just left Allison.
.57 for 3. Ball is in, and that one is off the bat and onto the pad, I think, as it trickles back towards ball for no run. Again, I just wonder how much the fact we've got those overcast conditions, again, the sun completely disappearing behind the clouds, and I can't see any blue sky at the moment, certainly not from our view in the commentary box, and that could come into play again. Things got very dark yesterday afternoon. This ball is in, and that one is flashed out into the leg side by Allison. Just the single so far off the over, and that is the end of the over. So just the single and the wicket first ball for Jake Ball in his first over of the morning. Essex 57 for 3, needing 38.
Looks like it's going to be Lewis Gregory to continue, taking both of those wickets this morning. So looking threatening, and I'm sure they'll try and, well, he's the captain, so I'm sure he'll keep himself on for as long as he feels he can make a difference.
And they probably feel encouraged by, not confident, but encouraged by some of those deliveries and the way he's had the ball moving so far in this morning session.
It's going to be Matt Critchley on strike at the beginning of the over. Gregory's in, and that squirts off the outside edge of the bat. It's a kind of gully line, but doesn't quite carry to the fielder. A little bit chancy there. They have come through for a single. I'm sure Critchley will be taking a nice deep breath at the non-striker's end after that. Heart in mouth moment, I imagine. Takes the deficit down to just 37 now. And Charlie Allison on strike now as Gregory's in, and he tries to drive that through the offside, but just beats the outside edge. Yeah, looking at the replay, just nipping around a little bit out there. There wasn't a huge amount of life in this pitch on the first couple of days by the looks of things, and seemed to just kind of wake up yesterday afternoon.
Yeah, it looked like a batting paradise, didn't it, for the, well, I say that, but then it's not as if wickets didn't fall, but we just saw long periods where things went the batter's way.
Gregory in, and that, I think, has squirted off the inside edge and will run away for 4, yeah, given his runs. Oh, yeah, that was hard to call that a chance for James Rue behind the stumps. He did a full stretch dive to his left, but didn't manage to get near to it.
It would have been a spectacular catch had James Rue got there. It came off the inside edge, and he was diving outstretched arm away to his left-hand side, just out of his reach, and it goes all the way past him for 4. So not the cleanest of boundaries from Charlie Allison, but Essex will take it, down to 33 needed.
James Rue is just reenacting what he should have done, taking the extra step. As Gregory's in again, and a similar shot from Allison, a big heave, but beats the outside edge and goes through to the keeper. Allison wants to get this done, I think.
Yeah,
Swing hard, edge hard.
trying to take on the Paul Walter role there, but
Yeah, he's a bit more of a natural fit for that role than Critchley. He's a bit more watchful, perhaps. Will he make it 3 big swings in a row? As Gregory's in, he tries to just run that down to third man, but is beaten again. Just going through to the keeper, and Gregory looks like he's causing a bit of trouble here. Bit of a double teapot as he stands with his hands on his hips, frustrated to not be catching the edge on any of these.
yeah, and I wonder what approach he takes for this final ball, knowing that Allison has edged one, has had a couple of big swings, and he's looking to play this. Where does Lewis Gregory put this delivery?
In now over the wicket and beats the bat again. Slightly wide of off stump, and Addison just tried to drive it. Looked like it came back into him, beat him on the inside edge to end the over. So 5 runs from it. Essex 62 for 3, requiring 33 more.
So the only other game going on now in Division 1 aside from this one is the game at Headingley. Durham at 8 without loss in reply in their second innings against Yorkshire. So they trail by 121 runs. Yorkshire will be looking to take quick wickets. I think, yes, a draw would be enough for both of them, but Yorkshire want to finish on a flourish, is what I've seen from our BBC colleague Jonathan Doige watching there at Headingley. As ball is in to Critchley, drams back down on that one for no run. At the Utilita Bowl, Hampshire have been beaten, Surrey winning that one by 20 runs. And you saw that exciting finish to the Surrey game last week, didn't you?
Yeah, I was very lucky that the game made it to day 4 actually, on comms for that, but it was a fantastic finish.
Ball is in to Critchley, who dabs that one down to third, guides that nicely, finds the gap, finds the 4, helps Essex as they look for victory. 29 now needed, 66 for 3.
Yeah, it was a great shot. It just used the width really well there, and Ball maybe a bit frustrated with himself.
That was a definite deliberate guide down to third. Definitely meant that one, did Matt Critchley. But still a couple of games going on in Division 2 as well. Gloucestershire in their second innings, 72 for 1, trail Middlesex by 276, who made over 600 in their first innings. As in comes Ball, and that one is through the offside, a square drive from Matt Critchley. It will just slow up again in the outfield, so won't get 4, he will get 2. It all helps the cause for Essex, now needing 27, 68 for 3. And in the other game still going on, Northamptonshire 178 for 5. They need just the small matter of 323 runs to win against Leicestershire, the champions. Ball is in, and that one is played into the pitch by Critchley for a dot ball. And 6 off the over so far, as compared to the was it just the single from the previous over from Jake Ball with the wicket he took of Paul Walter. It was the most recent wicket to fall. Walter going for 30, caught on the run by Lewis Gregory. His ball is in, and Critchley is looking to swing at that one. It's through to Rue. He's looking to get in on this action as well. Earlier, Wesley was caught behind off the bowling of Lewis Gregory for 13, and Dean Elgar went the first ball he faced, LBW, to the Somerset captain. Those are the 3 wickets to have fallen in just under an hour's play so far here at Chelmsford on day 4, the final day of the county championship season. And don't forget, if you are an Essex fan, BBC Essex Around the Wicket, the final show of the season on Wednesday. We will review all the action as ball is into Critchley, who ends up on one leg trying to play it, that one. It's through behind the stumps to Root. So good recovery from Jake Ball with 3 dot balls to finish his over, the 13th over of the morning. Essex 68 for 3, needing 27.
Looks like we might have a change of bowling.
No, still Lewis Gregory going to persevere.
Oh no, it's Jake Ball putting his jumper back on. I thought he was taking it off. Yeah, Gregory's looked really threatening this morning. No surprise that he's given himself another over after he beat the bat. Probably 4 balls of the last 6. So he's in now to Allison and just defended on the back foot, pushed out towards the leg side, and there'll be no run.
It's good to see on a Saturday morning. There's various other sporting events going on, people with their usual Saturday morning commitments, but it's good to see the supporters free of charge, remember, here at Chelmsford, who have come to watch the action unfold.
Gregory in and beats the outside edge of Charlie Allison once again. Charlie Allison's just throwing his head back in frustration at himself. He seems to be struggling to lay bat on Lewis Gregory at the moment. Gregory knows he's got the better of him quite a few times here, so nice little battle going on. A couple of times we've seen Allison play a sort of a pressure releasing shot, just taking a few steps down, and like almost a predetermined shot of making sure he gets some runs, as that one runs past the outside edge again. Lewis Gregory can't believe that he hasn't had more luck here.
Well, he had the luck and had Tom Wesley playing at a similar delivery. And that's how he departed for 13. And Charlie Allison, yes, he wants to get bat on ball and find runs for Essex, but this pressure is being built by Gregory.
Gregory in again and solidly forward. Allison just defending that back up the pitch. Be happy with that one. Bit of bat on it, hit the middle. Get a feel for it. Critchley did come down after the previous ball and just have a little word with him. Obviously a more experienced player probably telling him, you can calm down, you don't need to be trying to wallop everything. Gregory in and defended again by Allison, just out into the offside, picked up by Archie Vaughan. The extra cover. 5 dots in the over so far then. Greg will be looking to join him up.
I've got the Starlings back. They were fluttering around the ground yesterday, continuing their pretty patterns in the sky.
Gregory's in, and that's given us a no ball by the umpire as it beat the bat and went through to the keeper in what should have completed a maiden over for Lewis Gregory, but perhaps just overstepping.
We've seen him do that a couple of times, and Anthony was saying it's not uncommon.
In then to complete the over, and shorter this time, and up on his toes. Allison just defending that into the leg side. So that's just... Do you get 2 for an oval these days?
Yes.
Just the 2 from the over. 2 extras, which takes Essex to 70 for 3, requiring 25 to win.
So don't forget, we will bring you reaction from both sides at the conclusion of this one. A big day of sport. Locally, we've got quite a lot going on with the football. But, of course, later on, the Women's Rugby Union World Cup final. England taking on Canada. That's a 4 o'clock start. Good luck to the Red Roses as Jake Ball begins a new over. And he comes to Matt Critchley, who drives that one back towards the bowler. Ball puts out a hand and just stops any momentum that it's gathering. So there's no run.
I tried to get tickets for the final about 3 months ago, and it was sold out so far in advance, which is fantastic to see.
Absolutely. We had the Essex Women's Performance Director, Danny Warren, with us yesterday, and she's got tickets. So very jealous of that. I think there was a few late ones released, and there she was in on it. As Ball goes for a shorter delivery, which has Matt Critchley trying to pull. He misses it. There's a couple of appeals in the field. I don't think he got anything on it. He certainly didn't look worried by it.
Ironically, if he stood where he was, it would have been the perfect ball to pull, because he went flying down leg.
He was just eager to come forward and meet that one, was Matt Critchley. Still 25 needed for Essex for victory, as Ball is in, and that one is played out into the offside, but Matt Critchley finds the backward point fielder and he won't get a run. He's 8 on the board for him from the 11 deliveries that he's faced. Charlie Allison has 14. He raced actually quite quickly to 10, but then he's now faced 25 deliveries, and we've seen him going up against Lewis Gregory in that battle at the other end, as Ball is into Critchley, who's driving for 4 through the covers. No chance for the fielders. Easing a little bit of the pressure that's been building for these Essex batters. 74 for 3, 21 needed now.
That was a great shot. Like a real jab. He didn't put his arms all the way through it, but really strong hands pushing that through the vacant cover region. And yeah, Allison's just been tied up a little bit, hasn't he? Came out the blocks pretty quickly. But yeah, the only runs he's added to his total since he was 10 off 10 was the inside edge that went for 4. So he's just tied down a little bit at the other end.
Critchley now on 12. As Ball is in, goes for a shorter delivery, hits him on the pad, quite high up. Big appeal from Ball and from the slips. Umpire unmoved.
Yeah, it looked like it was just sliding down leg. I wasn't overly convinced by Ball's appeal either. You know you shouldn't give it on the appeal, but he knew it wasn't out really. You can see it in his body language.
In comes Ball again to Critchley. Critchley just using the wrist to turn that one into the offside. So just that boundary from the over. Essex 74 for 3, needing 21. Floodlights are on here at Chelmsford as that cloud has just continued to cover.
Got a bit of a cheer from the crowd actually, just in front of us.
It does take you by surprise when they come on.
Which actually shows you how dark it is, because you think if it was bright sunshine you wouldn't really notice, but that
It looks so dark on our monitor. I mean, there isn't any threat of rain around, according to the BBC weather app, but the sunshine is due for a bit later on this afternoon, so I think we will miss that. They just want to get the job done now, I think.
Lewis Gregory then to continue for his 8th over of the morning as he's in, and that runs off the inside edge, the inside portion of the bat, down to fine leg. They come back for a second. It slightly tight second run. But Allison just getting a couple of runs there.
Again, the aggressive run, and we saw that earlier on when Paul Walter and Tom Wesley were at the crease together. Anything that wasn't going to reach the boundary, just trying to pile as many runs on the board as they possibly can, even if it meant taking those risks of the run outs. And we actually almost saw Paul Walter run out very early on.
Gregory to Allison, forward and defending that solidly up into the offside. Yeah, there was one where Walter, if it would have been a direct hit, he was not really in the picture. Lucky to get away with it. Just 19 required now for Essex. Somerset still got a couple of slips in. I think it's probably sensible given that Gregory's been beating the bat so much. As he's in, and that's driven straight back up past him. Really straight drive and runs away for 4. Fantastic shot, and just slightly too full from Gregory. Allowed Allison just to lean on it and narrowly missed the stumps actually. Struck it very firmly. Just 15 required now. Still 2 slips in. Just needs to drag his length back slightly as Gregory's in again to Allison, and this is defended into the offside. They think about a run as it bisects the fielders, but there's no real power on it, so
It's a rather dramatic lunge from Matt Critchley at the non-striker's end as he looked to set off and stopped himself.
Down on one knee, wasn't he? Gregory in, over the wicket, played off the back foot, down into the offside by Allison, but is picked up at a wide gully position, and there'll be no run. 6 off the over so far then. 1 ball left. Allison laid a bit more bat on it this over. He'll be pleased. After it seemed Gregory was really on top of him in the previous. As he's in again to complete the over and defended back up towards mid-on, and there'll be no run.
So 15 needed for Essex. At this point, Beth, I'd usually say, shall I nip off and you join Anthony? But as we're in the closing stages of the county season, is it all right if I see out the remainder of this one? But it's been lovely to have you for a brief stint. Hopefully we'll see a bit more of you next season as well.
Thanks for having me.
So, Beth Harvey, appreciate the thoughts on commentary for us, and we'll bring Anthony Gibson back in for the final knockings of this one here at Chelmsford between Essex and Somerset. Victoria Polly with you from BBC Essex, and Anthony rejoining us from a Somerset perspective.
Yeah, it's been a great effort from Lewis Gregory, but he hasn't had much luck.
As Jake Ball is in from the Sir Alistair Cook end, that one is clipped into the leg side by Matt Critchley. There is a man out in the deep. They'll come back for 2 runs. Fielded at deep square leg, and 13 required now, 82 for 3.
Craig Overton down there. Don't often see him at deep backward square leg. Usually at second slip, or in a T20 game he'd be at long on or long off.
And comes Jake Ball with the floodlights on. Matt Critchley looking to play at that one. Is past the outside edge through to Rue. We've seen a lot of that the other end with Lewis Gregory and Charlie Allison.
We have seen a lot of playing and missing. I think there was one over when Charlie Allison played and missed 4 times at Lewis Gregory. And if Somerset were going to really challenge Essex, they needed a bit of luck on their side, and they haven't really had it.
Critchley's on 14. Ball is in, shorter delivery, that's pulled away by Critchley for 4. He's punished that shorter ball from Jake Ball, the Somerset bowler. Matt Critchley onto 18. Essex now need 9 into single figures required.
Yeah, there was nothing unlucky about that. It wasn't a very good ball and handsomely dealt with by Matt Critchley.
I think despite the 3 wickets, Essex have continued that mindset of trying to get this done as quickly as possible. Ball is in, and that one is turned into the leg side. It'll be fielded at square leg. They'll just come through for the single. 8 needed. Critchley on to 19 and off strike, 87 for 3.
I don't think, assuming Essex go on and win, I don't think it's going to alter the position of either side in the county championship. Somerset will certainly still be 3rd, and I think Essex, if they take 22 points.
Yeah, I don't think they can go above 6th.
No, they can't. So
Ball is in, and that's up in the air, and that is a huge 6 from Charlie Allison. That has landed in the Tom Pearce upper stand, just away to our right-hand side. So much height on that from Charlie Allison, and now Essex just need the 2. Up and over the long-on boundary. And what will he try and do with 2 needed for Essex as Ball is in, and that one is played back down to the bowler. End of Jake Ball's over. An expensive one, 13 from it, 93 for 3, 2 needed for Essex.
And I will defer to you, Victoria, for the
for
the winning runs. It's been a gallant effort by Somerset. I think Lewis Gregory's given it absolutely everything he has got. He's going to bowl another over. He's bowled 8 overs off the reel. Not bad for someone who's got a chronic back problem and broken bone in his wrist. But to no avail. James Rew just practicing a golf shot, which perhaps suggests what he will be doing tomorrow. He's a very good golfer, is James Rew.
Yeah, and I'm sure a lot of them will be watching the Ryder Cup with interest as well, as Gregory is in and Critchley hits that one into the ground. He was coming forward to try and get the job done for Essex, but it's just the pace off there. And I think probably at the start of yesterday, with Essex, those 2 wickets down in their first innings, I'm not sure we really expected to be in this position 24 hours later with Essex on the verge of a victory, but Somerset responding really well with the ball to dismiss Essex. Parity really in the first innings as Gregory is in and Critchley plays that one up to mid-off for no run. Still we wait for those winning runs.
Yes, on the first 2 days, 14 wickets fell for the addition of around about 720 runs. And yesterday, 18 wickets fell, during which 243 runs were scored. A quite remarkable transformation.
And that afternoon into evening session for Essex with the ball as Gregory is in and Critchley just dabs that one into the ground, back point fields. There's no run there for the Essex batter. I think we really saw the turning point of the game. Somerset bowled out for 99. Jamie Porter enjoying himself with the ball on that occasion, 4 for 18.
He did bowl quite extraordinarily well, did Jamie Porter. Somerset didn't help their own cause with some of the shot selection, but Jamie Porter deserves a lot of credit. He's been, along with Paul Walter and Dean Elgar, Essex's match winner.
As Gregory is in, and that's played out into the offside by Critchley. Still can't find a run, so 4 dot balls, prolonging this one for Essex and for Somerset.
Big smile on Lewis Gregory's face as he wanders back to his mark.
In comes Gregory, that's driven by Critchley. Again, though, he can only pick out the fielder at mid-off. There's a shy at the stumps as well as the ball comes in, and the bails and whatnot go flying. Stumps as well. I think for Essex to finish with a win is a positive, but no, there's no doubt about it, and they make no bones about the fact it's been a disappointing season. As Gregory is in, he's a big appeal as Critchley is struck on the pad. I think that was more out of hope than anything else.
Well, it wasn't a bad show. He was just getting a bit off his chest as well, Lewis Gregory. Been a very frustrating morning for the Somerset skipper. Started really well, very first delivery, pinning Dean Elgar, LBW. And picked up Tom Wesley as well. But Somerset needed to take wickets at regular intervals and haven't been able to do so.
So it's Jake Ball to continue. Shall I continue?
Yes,
for these?
indeed.
These 2 runs required for Essex. This ball is into Allison. He's gone big again. Oh, that might be heading for us. As that's a 6 over the commentary box.
Into the
again
river.
Over the long on boundary, into the river, finishing with a flourish. The county championship season. Essex win by 7 wickets, their 3rd win of the county championship campaign. They secured their Division 1 status yesterday, and they've managed to finish in style with a win. Charlie Allison finishes on 32, Matt Critchley on 19, as Essex chased down their target of 95 in 18.1 overs on day 4 of the final match of the season. And as I was saying, for Essex, a season that, by the standards they've set in recent times, hasn't matched that, but finish on a positive note as they'll look to regroup and gather and try and go again next season with the reinforcements that they will be adding to their side. Just to recap on the Essex second innings before we get some thoughts from Anthony as well. Paul Walter at the top of the order. Well, actually, let's go in order of the wickets to fall. Dean Elgar was out. The first ball he faced LBW to the bowling of Lewis Gregory. Tom Wesley, the Essex captain, followed him, caught behind off the bowling of Gregory for 13. Then Paul Walter, skying a shot, went for 30. He was trying to get the job done as quickly as possible. That was off the bowling of Jake Ball. But Charlie Allison and Matt Critchley finishing the job for Essex. 32 runs for Allison, 19 for Matt Critchley.
Yep, the damage was done for Somerset yesterday afternoon when they were bowled out for 99. They gave it their best shot this morning. Lewis Gregory bowling unchanged from the Graham Gooch and picking up 2 wickets and 1 for Craig Overton at the other end. But it was always asking a little bit too much. But Somerset finish in 3rd in the county championship.
And Essex finish in 6th.
And Essex finish in 6, and the crowd applaud as the 2 not-out Essex batsmen make their way back into the pavilion, followed by the Somerset fielding side. Good to see the players shaking hands and embracing each other out in the middle. The game's been played in a very good spirit, and it's been an odd sort of game of cricket. For the first couple of days it looked absolutely odds-on, a high-scoring draw, and then an absolute clatter of wickets yesterday. 18 wickets falling in the day, including all 10 of Somerset's wickets for just 99. Jamie Porter bowling quite superbly yesterday afternoon, and of course we can't forget that partnership, record opening partnership for Essex against Somerset of 277 between Paul Walter and Dean Elgar. So many congratulations to Essex. It leaves the tally for the season on Somerset 3, Essex 1.
Oh, I knew you were going to have to get that in. Well, we will review all the action for Essex on Around the Wicket on BBC Essex between 6 and 7 on Wednesday, so I hope you can join me for that then. We'll get reaction up on our respective BBC channels. I'm going to rush off because there is going to be a presentation for the retiring Nick Brown, which we'll bring you on BBC Essex as well in the coming days. But thank you, Anthony, for your company. Safe
Thank you,
travels
Victoria.
back to Somerset, and thank you to you, the listeners, for your company over the course of this county season. We'll speak to you very soon.